Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Paper Straw Podcast. I'm Ian Riñon, an independent alternative media practitioner, among other things. And as always, I have my co hosts right here, Christian Tejares and Chris Short. How is it going, guys?
It's
Hello.
going.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. You, Chris.
I'm great. I'm great. It's a little warm, but other than that, I'm good.
Well, welcome to the Philippines. It's always warm here.
Yeah.
Wasted by the
Anyway, yeah.
That
Anyway,
should be a slogan.
yeah. But anyway, we have I guess we have a very eventful week. I mean, I've been through uh that event in Manila that's related to the disaster resiliency, but there's also a climate something. But I also had I mean, we cannot end this week without having to recap or wrap up all of the things that happened this week. And just a few hours ago, there's been confirmation that uh, Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar has been killed,
Hmm.
and I have written on about that, and we can have it in the description on YouTube regarding that. But yeah, that's the big one that we have this week, and it's just literally a few hours ago, by the
Mm.
time of this podcast. So, um, yeah, a lot of people are celebrating, especially in Israel, because if I am not mistaken, Sinwar is the architect of the
Yeah.
October 7 attacks.
Yeah. Hezbollah's gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah, Hezbollah's gonna be pissed. They already
Yes.
are, actually.
Like,
Plan escalation. I don't know. I don't even know if an escalation is possible. It's already kind of at the highest point it can be.
Hmm.
I don't know. They can be creative.
That is true.
They find ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Exploding pagers, which
Uh-huh.
is crazy.
Who
They
would have
just
thought?
remembered. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the singing telegram actually exploding. Like, if this was
Yeah.
done back then. So,
Yeah. But yeah,
missed
I
opportunity.
think yeah. I think Sinwar is the third top ranking Iran backed proxy group leader who got killed, because you have Hassan Nasrallah with the with the pager shit with Hezbollah, and then
Yeah.
and
Ismail.
Sinwar's, yeah, Ismail
Haniyeh.
Haniyeh, uh Sinwar's predecessor was killed by an, I think, I don't know if it's an airstrike deep in the heart of Tehran, but I think that's how he died, right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Sinwar was killed as collateral damage?
Yeah. If the footage and the story, or the side of the Israeli military is to be believed, uh um Sinwar isn't really their target. It's some junior Hamas leaders, or someone under his command, not him.
Just his luck.
Mm.
Just his luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. You imagine.
And
Like, it
it's
wasn't
not
even the
special
target.
forces, and not and special forces are not the ones who killed him. Tankers, the guys on tanks, reservists, trainees,
Mm.
those are the ones who killed um uh Sinwar. So it's a bit hilarious that he died
Yeah.
that way.
They got a twofer.
Yeah. I would run straight and pick up a lottery ticket.
Mhm.
It's a lucky day, bro.
Very lucky.
Well, not his, obviously, but fuck him. Because
He's called the butcher for a reason.
yeah.
Yeah, but after this, the military is really gonna be on high alert now.
Oh
Like
yeah,
if this was
because
really accidental, this is really gonna piss them off.
oh yeah, certainly.
Like it
They're
wasn't
gonna.
even his. I guess him being there wasn't even purposeful when he died.
Right.
But I guess for those who are those who have been very much concerned with what happened on October 7th, well, at least that's one chapter closed. But then again, the hostages are there are still hostages. There's still those Iran-backed proxies. Hezbollah is having a doozy with the Israelis, and Iran. Uh, Iran's if there's a country, or if there's someone that's ultimately pissed with all of this, it's Iran.
For sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Iran. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do hope this actually doesn't escalate more.
Oh
Although
yeah.
that's just wishful thinking at this point, considering the temperament of these people.
Yeah. But then again, there are speculations that Sinwar is Sinwar is if I'm not mistaken, there are speculations that uh Sinwar is the major stumbling block um to the discussions, to the ceasefire discussions between Israel and Hamas, which is facilitated by Egypt, Jordan, and the United States. I am not sure. No, not Jordan. Egypt, Qatar, and the United States.
So he
So
was against it. He was against it, right? Against the
most likely,
ceasefire.
most likely,
I don't think it would if it would help that he's actually dead.
yeah. So that's that. That's one thing that can be said as the side effect, or the collateral stuff. Second is the fate of the hostages. Some of the families of the hostages were not really in a celebratory mood, unlike most Israelis, because they're still worried that because Yahya Sinwar is dead, Hamas might as well kill off any remaining hostages that are alive. That's one scenario.
That's something that you have to worry about, retaliation, right? Like, especially because what you call it? It's difficult in that area, in that region of the world, because as soon as you eliminate one of the top guys, they instantly gain like martyrdom, right?
Yeah,
And for
they're
a
called
lot,
martyrs.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this can be a catalyst actually to a prolonged, it can extend the war.
a forever war, if I think it that
If
way.
we're gonna be seeking parallels regarding this, what was the effect of the death of Bin Laden back then? Did it actually escalate things? You were there,
It
and Chris, right? You were
Yeah,
still
Yeah.
deployed.
Well, yeah, I was in the military at the time. I don't know. At
Because
that time, the war had been going on for so long, it was kind of just like finally. And I think
mm,
even the other side was like, damn, it took them a long time to get him.
mm.
Obviously it emboldens, people, but at the same time, it has to be disheartening.
But did Al Qaeda activity suddenly escalate after his death? I don't think so.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. I don't think so, but there are some splinter groups of Al Qaeda that
Yeah,
are now part of ISIS-K, if I'm not
ISIS,
mistaken.
ISIS,
ISIS-K.
Yeah.
like
I
kill
mean,
off
there's,
one, kill off one dictator and one leader of a terrorist, and 10 will actually replace him.
well, I mean, there's not much,
Hail Hydra.
yeah, there's not much crossover for terrorists, right? It's like you can't really, I mean, what do those skills, what, what other job can you get? You know what I
They have a
mean? Like,
jobs festival, right?
you
Or
know,
they exchange business cards.
yeah. It's like Al Qaeda's going out of business. I hear there's a new
Hezbollah,
startup called ISIS. Maybe we can,
Hezbollah, Hezbollah is
yeah,
attending, offering each other business. Right? I heard your CEO suddenly went away. Wink,
yeah,
wink.
pirating. Yeah, they were pirating each other. Yeah, holding job
Yeah.
fairs and shit.
Al
Yeah.
Qaeda, I heard yours retired.
Yeah, they got
We
booths.
have a current opening
They got
in
booths
our
set up.
Gaza branch.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't
I
forget
know,
the Houthis.
yeah,
I know
they're all there. Yeah, Somali
yeah,
pirates. Everybody's there.
Yeah.
I know we're making light of this, but it doesn't actually diminish the fact that once it actually escalates, it's a question mark. Right? You want to think of this as a win, but when you look at the big picture of this and what history has shown us, it only gets worse from here.
Yeah. Some might say that the pager explosion incidents in Lebanon where Hezbollah leaders are targeted, that might be some are speculating that that might be the start of World War III.
Mm.
Uh,
But I digress.
well, it's a high possibility, and I don't want to slide into politics, but um,
Everything ever since Iraq has been called as the start of World War III.
that's true. But I think we're closer now than we've ever been, really,
Mhm.
because especially with Iran being so involved.
And and I don't mean to put you on the spot here, Chris.
Mhm.
Is it just gonna be a world war because people are pissed at the US?
No, I think it's going to be a world war because people don't fear the U.S.
Oh yeah. I mean, everyone wants to get a piece of something.
The world's always pissed at the U.S., but it's different to
I,
be pissed off and afraid.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
and you have
I think,
actors like
Chris, I think Japan would disagree.
Well, they're the perfect ones to ask.
Mm,
Yeah.
Don't
Where
start
were
nothing.
you?
yeah. And everyone wants a piece nowadays. China
Where
wants a
were you when
piece.
the US first said fuck around and find out?
I was not around. That was 1940 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Japanese right now are not necessarily the Japanese of the 1940s.
No, I mean they went from samurais to businessmen
Yeah.
at the drop of a hat. Well, wasn't really a hat that dropped, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. You know.
It happened
Anyway,
very quickly.
yeah, very quickly. And I really hope that
You know
this
the
wouldn't
famous
escalate.
rapper, the famous
Yeah.
Japanese rapper beheading.
That's real.
Are you are you serious about that?
No,
That's a
just
real
kidding.
rapper.
Beheading?
Oh,
Sounds
geez.
cool though, right?
Yeah, it really sounds cool.
I thought you. I figured. Oh God, that's fucking crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, beheading.
Yeah.
I know what I
Only,
know is be rabbit, but not beheading.
only very grainy footage allowed.
Instead of mom spaghetti, mom sushi.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess to end that part of the story, I really hope that this would not escalate further, and
Yeah,
everything. I mean, everyone's wishing or
yeah,
hoping that
we're
way, but
we're wishing for some sort of resolution. Like, even though we can't see one at this point, we're still hoping someone would actually find a way.
yeah,
Well,
call it wishful thinking,
There
but
must be a
yeah,
way.
there
I
must be a
think
way, I guess.
I think obviously we can only speculate whether this will escalate things or whatever, but I think the bottom line here really is the world is a safer place without this dude in it.
Yeah, because I remember a month ago, Netanyahu was dumping on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was. I mean, as we said earlier, Sinwar is the guy who brought the October 7 attacks to
Yeah,
fruition. So yeah, uh, Netanyahu really wanted this guy dead.
Yeah.
That's that.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
quarters to actually make that wish come true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but uh, but I guess again, we really just hope that you know this I mean this gets sorted as soon as possible. But we now go to uh much more lighter things because I know I that's heavy. It's the weekend. Let's lighten the load. It's not really that light, but it's much lighter than the death of Yahya Sinwar. I also wrote today the a news story about this student journalist who got shitted on by fans of the Filipino
Oh,
girl group BINI.
damn. I thought you meant for real. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean everyone's
I
crazy about this girl group, but and
I'm disgusted but
understand.
morbidly curious.
Mm.
So basically, here's the rundown. There's this student journalist named Jeff Ocampo. He is he's a senior year, fourth year journalism student from the University of Santo Tomas, which happens also to be my own alma mater. So yeah, tiger bias. But anyway, crowding tiger bias. Anyway, kidding aside, this guy um had you know, how do I say this? Have been writing as an intern for the Philippine Daily Inquirer for their pop culture website called INQ Pop or Ink Pop. I'm not sure, but basically inquirer.net, but the pop
Mm.
culture section of it. Now, uh, this article is titled, let me just check Telegram here because I saw it. I put it here. The title is uh End of an Era. Some social media users think the Beanie Fever is nearing its end. And a lot of fans pop culture calls them blooms for some reason, but a lot of these fans have been so unhinged after that thing got published. And man, I actually shared this with my with Sarah, Christian's wife, and I'll just share it to you as well. And you may check out the backlash because it all started there on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. There, you know, so some of these people have been speculating. Some of these fans are speculating that the guy who wrote this was a fan of the boy band SB19. And ever since, Beanie fans have been shitting on other P-pop groups just because. I don't really know why. I'm not really into that kind of thing.
They're not
Uh
even
I'm
they're not even competing with each other.
yeah, it's just the fan base that's screwing things over. I mean, I'm not even sure if some of my own personal contacts are saying that this is the reason why we don't have nice things.
Like I never heard of Spice Girls fans actually dumping on Backstreet Boys fans.
Right? It's just insane. It's just
So
insane that these people are finding fault, man. The people who have been shitting on this guy named Jeff Ocampo, the guy who wrote a piece on Inquirer Pop regarding Beanie and its alleged end of the Beanie fever. And a lot of these fans have been intense. And I think we left off on you, Christian, saying that it uh the fandom here in Asia is a bit intense. right?
Yeah, it is. To the point that people die.
Yeah, that,
Do we still
and
have to
it's
go
not.
back to this? Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, uh, we're not gonna spoil you guys, but obviously Christian is an anime guy. You can notice on all of the figures that he has on his background, and there there is there's something that we have been brewing the past few weeks, and since Chris and I are not really anime watchers, they have Christian here is giving us some assignments or series to watch, and hopefully by the time that this is uploaded, we've finished that assignment, Christian, and it kind of it kind of uh it
that
kind of
was
connects through this to this topic,
that was so out
but
of left field that caught me off guard. I forgot I gave you guys that assignment.
well, don't worry. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Don't worry about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
it just connects together,
yeah, just to
um
clarify things regarding the beanie stuff. For me, I have just recently discovered that. Like, I would admit, for the better part of, I guess, their existence in the pop scene, I wasn't that much. Uh, I don't gravitate to them that much.
mhm.
I still considered it bubblegum at that
Yeah.
point. But then when I heard it thoroughly, their songs, and learned that they weren't actually mass produced just because of they want something to be put out, and then they got a bit of I gave them a bit of respect for that.
And come to think of it, they do have all of the girls are talented. That's for sure. All of them. No,
Yeah. But
there's no exception. No
with
exceptions
the,
whatsoever.
with that being said, like, I can understand where the dude who wrote this actually coming from. I don't think Filipinos actually understand how many attempts there were over the past decade to create a pop group that's actually successful, both in the Philippines and internationally.
Mhm.
So I can understand him being jaded regarding the concept of this more than just a one-off.
But it's not really him. It's not really the guy who wrote this, but some of some Beanie fans. He's just reporting on it, to be honest. And and
Yeah,
in this industry, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
yeah. So be mad at
And
those fans, not the one who actually don't shoot the messenger.
yeah, of course. I mean, um, it has
Unless he
come to
also
the
has a
point.
gun.
Yeah, it has come to the point that the UST Journalism Society, the basically the or the UST Journalism Department, had to respond to this kind of backlash for one of the students, and just so happened that through some kind of connection, um, I have acquainted with the department's chair, Felipe Salvosa II, and he made this statement, which I will also be sharing as well uh, in the description
Yeah.
below as of this once this podcast gets uploaded. Let me just read it to you. Uh, Let me just read it to you. And I quote, "We got your back, Jeff." That's the title of the post. We journalism students and faculty members, basically of the University of Santo Tomas, UST, stand in support of Mr. Jeff Ocampo, who has been the subject of unfair and unwarranted social media backlash because of a story he had written as an intern. We appeal to some social media users to stop malicious actions such as unauthorized use of disclosure of Mr. Ocampo's personal information, including photos and social media activity. We also believe that his family and friends who have nothing to do with his work should be off limits. Social media should be a safe space for everyone, including students who are doing legitimate journalistic work. And end of quote. so to basically to put this in a few words, the guy is not just criticized by BINI fans. Some BINI fans even doxed him.
Yeah, they'll do that to you. I think it's 10 times much worse in the US, huh, Chris?
I
Yeah.
think Senator Kennedy from Louisiana said it the best. Social media has reduced the cost of being an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? These people get online.
Yeah.
They think they can say whatever they want to say because nobody can get to them, and they can't.
First
I have,
Amendment.
I have a couple things I want to say about this whole thing, though, even though I don't really, I don't know. I don't know. I find it cringe. I find the whole pop group, 15 members, I find it all very cringe. Maybe it's a generational thing. It's a age gap or
Yeah.
whatever.
I guess it is. I mean,
If I can actually just vibe to the music, if I
I
don't
mean,
have that, I wouldn't have anything.
I'm sure the
yeah,
music's great. I'm sure it's
yeah, the
great.
music's great. Yeah, no,
But
nothing to say about the music. It's good.
the point I want to make is first, and I might get doxxed for this one, but y'all can come to my house. I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Pretty basic at this point.
My opinion is one, in very Filipino fashion, they are overly emotional. First, like, who really gives a shit? It's a group, right? Are you gonna cause problems with your fellow people because of a music group? Second, the headline was a question meant to promote a conversation.
Yes, and I was
Oh
about
yeah,
to go to that point.
that was basically the gist of the whole damn
But
thing. And
it's
yeah,
opening a debate. Is it? There's no reason to attack.
uh-huh.
Third, oh shit, what was my other point I wanted to make? One,
I
over
thought you were gonna say third. There is no third.
third, it feels like there might not be a third. No, but also this, when you write as a journalist, when you write about things that are non-tangible, like entertainment things, right? Like speculation, or is this the end of an era? This is more opinion based.
And do you feel like he got the response that he wanted? Because it feels more clickbaity rather than someone who's actually asking a legit
I
question.
I'm sure
Yeah,
I'm sure
I think
I'm
so.
sure he had a I'm sure he knew that this was going to stir some feathers or ruffle some feathers. Um, but again, it's an opinion. Like, it's kind of his take on the whole situation from what he's seen on X. So,
Well,
it's a little ridiculous. And I think also, um, it was really funny that UST says social media should be a safe space for everyone. Social media is the unsafest of spaces.
well,
It's the catalyst for unsafe space.
It's If there was no internet, we wouldn't even know about safe space.
mm, well,
Like, social
yeah.
media is not the place to go if you
This
don't
is
want to get.
Yeah, in
I have
terms of social media, the only time that I'm gonna be saying this, the only safe space for social media is actually just a power blackout
Yeah.
I mean,
at
yeah.
this point. Like back to the
I had a conversation. I had a conversation earlier today that talking about comments, on social media, whether they be negative, people's opinion. And so we take it, it's part of the contract. When you post yourself on social media, or your opinion, or your work, or your face,
Mm.
you are signing a social contract that basically gives everybody the right to say what they think.
Oh my
I like it.
goodness.
What you said, I likened
We're
it to a fair where
Hmm.
someone actually sits and there's a pool of water below them, and someone throws
Exactly.
tomatoes. If
That's
it
exactly.
hits, you get dunked on. You get
Exactly.
dunked in water. Like that's
If you
Mhm.
don't
basically it.
if you don't want to get if you don't want to get dunked, don't get up there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great analogy. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. You mentioned social contract. Kind of remind me of Rousseau, the guy who basically thought about it.
Yeah.
Mm. But yeah, I mean, you are you're putting yourself out there, so it's not.
Like the
Don't
world is
complain.
the world is already a clown show. Like
Yeah,
we're all living.
Not even a clown show. It's a dog show.
a shit show.
Dog shit show.
A shit show. A dog.
I still
Yeah,
feel that he got the response that he wanted because no one would
I do too.
actually. I do understand him wanting to ask that question, but he knows the backlash that this is gonna
We're
happen.
talking. We're
If
talking
he's a
about him right now. This is what he wanted.
if he's a Filipino, he knows how rabid Filipino fans are when it comes to their pop idols.
Yeah, but you know what? I think in the spirit of journalism, he still did it
I mean,
because
he
You can say anything regarding the spirit of journalism at this point. For the spirit of journalism, I outed someone who doesn't want to be outed. For the spirit of journalism, I leaked some highly classified documents from the government, like
yeah,
at the
I mean,
expense of security. Like everything
yeah.
can be said for the sake of journalism. For this one, just I think he knows the consequences. He got the response maybe for what he wants because I don't think he's that soft when it comes to getting response.
Well,
mhm.
Otherwise,
I would go as far as to say he had a thought and he ran with it. Like the question that popped in his head is like, is this the like he's going through X?
Mhm.
He sees all this negative shit about BINI, and he's like, is this the end of an era? And he's like, light bulb, okay, da 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 da. I wrote this entertainment piece about whether or not this is the end of, and everybody's probably like, oh, this is great. This is this will
yeah,
spark conversation. Little
Mhm.
did we know,
It
people
sparked
can't,
conversation and then some.
and then
that
some. I looked at the comment section. It's not that bad. People were actually, I mean, not all of it, but some people were actually giving like physical evidence, right? Like, look at this show,
yeah.
Mhm.
you know.
But
So
there are others who have been,
And I don't even, if it's Twitter, I
inflammatory.
don't even think a
mm,
lot of those that are actually dunking on him are fans. Those are just maybe some of them are just people who are dunking on them for the sake of actually just being part of a group that's actually doing something.
yeah, it's group.
Shit posters.
It's a group thing.
It's
Like
group
this
think.
is the
Yeah,
cool thing to do. Like let's dunk on this guy.
it's the mob
Yeah.
mentality.
Oh yeah. Good call.
I
Good call
forgot
that
to
you called. Yeah, you defined it as mob
I forgot
mentality.
to pointed this out that the majority or the overall user numbers in Twitter is actually a tiny, tiny fraction of the population of the world.
Yeah,
So if you think about it, if you consider the opinions of that tiny group regarding your
Yeah.
life, like
no.
it's
Well,
it's gonna be a
when you
personal issue.
when you say regarding your life, you have to take into consideration the doxing because that is physically risky.
Yeah, that is
Mhm.
that's
I
considered
mean,
a major crime at
yeah,
that
Yeah.
point.
doxing. I mean, that's oh boy, that's not good at all. Anybody that doxes needs their ass whooped.
Yeah. I mean, it's a it's a no-brainer that doxing is no bueno.
Yeah,
Has the writer been doxxed?
There are some replies to that tweet by Inquire Pop or INQ Pop, where they basically deduced, for the lack of a better term, that the guy who wrote this was actually a fan of SB19 for some
yeah,
reason,
I seen that. They had like a bunch on YouTubers. I seen that on in the comments. Yeah,
right? And
calling you
That's a
biased
kind of,
for having an opinion.
that's a
yeah,
stretch.
that's a yeah. I think that is indeed a stretch. That you know what does that what does that do? What does that do with his with his with
Yeah,
about Beanie? That that's. yeah, it's just a stretching. It's just a stretch, Yeah. And it's a good thing that there are still people who understand that this is a journalistic piece. I
Yeah.
mean, it's supposed to be read in full and not just the title. There's a personal contact of mine who was who had this caption uh and b- in sharing Salvosa's statement. Uh it says it's in Tagalog, but I'll just translate it in English. Uh Dear Beanie fans, please read the whole damn thing and not just the title.
Right. Yeah, I read it. Oh, I skimmed it.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
it's a
why that's
it's an
why I think
intelligent.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
But we'll
ultimate
see.
defense for clickbaiting.
We'll
Mhm.
see. Pin the tweet, and then this time next year, see where Beanie's at. Maybe old boy's vindicated
Mhm.
when when they working at Jollibee, not doing commercials at Jollibee.
Mhm. But
I think they would
yeah,
they would still find retention, at least individual ones. Usually
yeah,
groups are actually splintered out after a couple of years.
Well, I
yeah.
seen in the comments like people were upset that they did an English song.
Didn't what?
They did
What?
A song in English, and people were like, "Oh, you were just like they
Ah,
were."
yeah, Cherry on Top. I think
Yeah,
that's the song. That's the English song that they have.
who's Cherry?
No,
Yeah,
that's
one of their
the
songs made me like, oh, I now like you guys. Then I heard that song and I'm like, I'm back to not liking you guys.
It's cringe, man.
Like you had me for 15 seconds.
To me, it's so cringe. Like that whole that's okay. And maybe they'll come after me.
I'm not their target audience, by the way. I have to remind people, I'm not their target audience. If you
And
like
so
Yeah,
do
Korea,
I. I'm not really their target audience. I'm
we're
more
just
of a
we're
a
just
I'm
three
heavy
definitely
metal
people.
guy.
We're
I'm
just three
definitely not.
people. You overpower us,
But
even with your fighting
I
hand.
find it cringe when people take this is not an original concept,
Mhm.
right? This blew up for Korea. It
Started
hasn't
started
blown
in
up.
started
Yeah.
in Japan.
But
Oh yeah,
Japan
the idol
Idol scene
culture. Yeah,
started in Japan, copied by the US, then in Korea, then in China.
yeah,
now
but
here in the Philippines.
J-pop never blew up though,
Uh-huh.
like
It
K-pop did.
they never
It's a
actually went.
niche. J
I
music is
I
a
think
niche.
I think J-pop never actually blew up because they never intended for it to go outside of the US.
Yeah,
Is
and
Well, maybe
they
somehow
have
it's
their own formula of success when it comes to their artists, and I don't think the US is part of that formula.
yeah, perhaps
The US
unless the
market is part of
otakus,
the US
unless the
market.
otakus.
The US market is part of every formula.
But there's something unique about Japan that's not part of yours.
Uh-huh.
It's the lolly culture.
I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
oh my goodness! You
Those who
remind me
know
of
know. That's
Ava
why I meant
Chris Tyson and
why
Shadman.
that's why when I said they don't have any intention of marketing things to the US. There's a lot of, I think every country has some pieces of their culture that can't be actually exported to another country just because of the overwhelming differences
Mhm.
Mm,
when it comes to belief and what they accept within their society. Japan has a much bigger tolerance when it comes to pornography, when it comes to the age of
their
consent.
pornography is blurred.
Yeah, but it is an industry there that's hyper prevalent and it's a career choice for some,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and it's not frowned upon by
Mhm.
society there. But if you put that in the US, like
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
different story. Like they have magazines there in Japan that specializes in promoting tweens in bathing
Yeah.
suits. Like, do you think you can bring that to the US suddenly without raising any red flags?
Shouldn't bring that shit anywhere.
And
That's
that is
Yeah.
part and that is part of the idol formula. They're in Japan. That's why
Uh-huh.
they thought we're gonna be building up these idols, but we can't export this to the West.
Right.
I
But I
mean,
mean, that's not what J-pop is, though, right?
I think the
well,
major
it's
formula
part.
for success
Yeah,
for
that's a significant part of it, I
that's a
guess.
significant part of J-pop.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
speaking of, yeah, there is this J-pop group. I'm not sure of the name at Aratashi Gakko. I'm not sure, but um, for some reason, this J-pop band, J-pop girl group, that that is comprised of women in their 20s.
Yeah,
They collaborated with a J metal band.
yeah, and
Mm.
consider this: one of the hottest acts coming out of Japan going to the West is Baby Metal,
I fuck with
Yeah.
Baby Metal.
right?
Yeah.
And they never marketed them. They went away from the formula of usual Japanese idols in terms of the
Mm.
pop music. They went full metal,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a different lane that caters more to the US. That's why they were able to cross over. I think as talented as these artists are, if they actually were marketing for the US, they can.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
girl group.
thing is actually marketing for the West because of all the Justin Bieber, the Ed Sheeran. You notice this with how they mix their music. They're actually
Uh-huh.
gunning for the US market.
Right. But
Yeah.
my point was that the cringe level of taking an already like I feel like the moment has passed for this type of thing. Maybe nationally there's a national pride. It's like this is our version.
Mhm.
I don't want a version of something, right? I want something that is it's just anytime if whether or not Korea invented it
Yeah,
is neither here
Mhm.
nor there. Korea owns this.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
they should.
You know what I mean? So anytime I see 7 or 8 people, boys or girls, singing one song, doing choreographed stuff, it's Korea. They cornered the market basically.
Yeah, to me, it's
So
insane. What the hell? What do I know?
yeah, but like the states did it. There was only 4 or
Uh-huh.
5 maybe.
And I'm glad you said that. And this is why I'm actually considering all the faults in our industry regarding them. This is what I love about India. They
Mhm.
stuck to their guns when it comes to their entertainment. Like I applaud them for that.
Uh,
Bollywood and Indian music is not for everyone, but what matters to them is it's for them.
Mm, true.
That's
anyway,
what's important.
yeah, that's what's important. Anyway, I just looked for the song where this J-pop girl group collaborated with a metal band, a J
Is this
metal
their
band.
name?
Uh the 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 name of the J metal band is Maximum the
Atarash
Hormone, and the girl group is Aratashi
Atarashi
Gakko.
Gakko.
Aratashi
I
Gakko,
know that.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
good. Have you
Yeah.
watched them, Chris? Have you seen any of their videos? Highly
No.
recommended.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
especially
need
this one. Especially yeah, especially this one. And maybe for starters, you can actually watch Tokyo Calling.
100 times much better than any K-pop group ever.
Uh oh yeah. I can yeah, I
Okay, I
can
wouldn't say that,
vouch for
but
that.
at least 100 times much more entertaining. I'll give
Mm.
Well,
them that.
or let's just say for for every for world
I
for the sake
just
of
don't
world
want
peace.
a 12-year-old doxing me right now.
Yeah, for the sake of world peace, let's just say this. Um, Aratashi Gakko is a league of its own.
Okay.
Let's just say that, right?
All right.
So that
Yeah.
we don't we can
It's
minimize the backlash.
it's Atarashi Gakko, right?
Atarashi Gakko. I'm not sure of the
Atarashi Gakko.
Atarashi Gakko. Yeah, I'm not really a Jap. I don't really speak Japanese, so I'm not really familiar with the how it's pronounced or how
I
the
mean,
name is.
if anybody's doing it correctly, it's the X Gal group. right? They're
Uh,
Japanese. They're based in Korea. They only sing in English.
oh, that's
Yeah,
a good.
like they're checking all the boxes. And
he said
there's
he suddenly turned into a music critique channel.
there's five or six of them.
Like it's like we woke up this morning and suddenly chose violence.
Yeah.
And now that we have been talking about music, there's also something that happened this week that really not really upset music fans, but uh they're more confused than upset. And if you know this classical music duo TwoSet Violin, they have announced earlier this week that they're calling it quits.
But I have no
Like,
idea. That's the most random shit. I have no idea. They're a classical duo.
Yeah, classical
yeah,
music duo. More of a comedic duo because they really wanted to make classical music relatable to younger people, and they're violinists. So they are trying to not only promote classical music but also have their twist on pop music or whatever.
I
What is
remember
their name?
Two
two
set
set violin.
violin.
Two set violin. I remember their concert with Davey 504.
What is
Oh
it?
yeah,
What the fuck are y'all saying?
Yeah.
Do set
two
violin.
set violin. Actually, I have
Two.
written I have
Number
written
two
this. Yeah,
set.
Uh,
Two
two
set.
spelled out.
Two Set Violin was a musical comedy duo consisting of Australia. They're Australian and they're Chinese apparently.
Chinese Australian. So Australians of Chinese descent. They're based out of Brisbane in Queensland. So yeah. And basically the two guys are named Brett Yang and Eddie Chen. Brett and Eddie, to be in short. And they've been doing this for 11 years.
I ain't never heard of these dudes before.
Michael can easily slide in here.
Yeah. But yeah,
Michael's Chinese and Australian, I think.
They've been doing world tours and shit.
Yeah,
yeah, they have been.
really famous. They're really
They're
good.
they're really famous and they're really good. Yeah.
Like this saddens me because they are among those that I consider that create real content on YouTube, and they're quitting
Yeah.
after just 11 years.
Yeah, and a lot of their fans, which are called Ling Ling wannabes,
Yeah,
uh,
Oh God.
yeah,
somehow they're quitting after 11 years. Their content is good, and somehow we still have KSI.
yeah, that,
Who named their followers? That's the most racist shit I ever heard.
no, that I don't really know why or who did that, but I got to just see that. What the hell? And who the hell is Ling Ling?
Ling Ling is
Anyways,
a racial slur for every Asian.
oh, I mean,
Yep.
because I know for all I know, they
Hmm.
are basing it on
What
the
the
Chinese pianist Lang Lang.
No, Ling Ling, that's what we call Asian people. It's a very disrespectful way. See, you go over and
Yeah, I don't know.
get your nails done by Ling
I'm
Ling.
I'm just hoping that it's a fellow Chinese person that gave that name because it's not racist when you belong.
I'm guessing this
Yeah,
came from Australia.
yeah, I guess so. I really hope it's a fellow Chinese person. Maybe it's their editor.
Ling Ling wannabes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like Montenegro.
let's not let's not go there. Let's not let's not be like PewDiePie and the bridge incident. Let's not deal with that. Let's not go that route. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Chris.
Yeah. Ling Ling is
Oh,
wild. Ling Ling
I get
wannabe is
it.
wild.
Here's a definition for that. Ling Ling is a fictional character created by Brett Yang and Eddie Chen of YouTube channel Two Set. So they were the ones who created this Two Set Violin. Ling Ling can be described as a fictional violin entity of sorts, a perfect prodigy violinist who defies known universal laws by practicing 40 hours a day. Ling Ling's gender is unknown. The concept of Ling Ling acts as a perfect and unreachable standard for all musicians in terms of playing. So it's a state of mind or something or an entity that
It's
you
a
turn
concept,
into.
ideology, and all that.
It might be an entity you turn into if you practice violin this long and or it's a prodigy.
It's not just
So
violin, any other musical instrument, but
so
since they're
basically their fans
violinists,
are fans of this concept. I
mhm,
get it in sorts.
Okay,
yeah,
so they're Australian. They are of Chinese descent. They came up with this Ling Ling thing. ChatGPT says for this is for the US. This is why I reacted in such a way, I guess. Ling Ling is a term that has been used in a derogatory manner in the US to refer to Asian individuals, particularly those of East Asian descent. It is often considered
Yeah.
racist and offensive as it reduces individuals to stereotypes and perpetuates harmful generalizations. The term gained some attention in online communities of memes where it was sometimes used in a mocking context. Such usage contributes to a culture of racism and can be hurtful to those targeted. So we do, not we, as Americans, some Americans do this. It's in our culture.
Dude,
If you call an Asian person Ling Ling, that is crazy.
dude,
oh,
would you be surprised if I tell you they have other characters that they created called Ching Ching and Ming Ming?
and there's also Tiger Mom.
Tiger
Ching
Mom.
Ching, Ching Ching is okay. Ching Chong is wild.
Yeah,
That's
as a
Cheech and Chong.
Filipino, I would refrain from saying Ching Chong.
Ching Chong
I
is
said Cheech
crazy. Yeah,
and I said Cheech and Chong, like Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong.
yeah, yeah, Tommy Chong, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Legend.
that's wild.
it's wild. Dude. When you said that, I'm sorry, guys. My my American mind was blown when you said their fans are called Ling Ling wannabes. That's the wildest thing I've heard, I think. Just
Yeah,
You
because
learn,
of how it is used in the US. That's crazy,
are-
Ling.
aren't you sad they're now leaving?
Yeah, I want to be a Ling Ling.
They
I've
turned
been
that.
living in Asia
If
for
you
10
think
years.
that,
Obviously, I want to be a Ling Ling.
well, if you think that term is actually offensive, they probably it's a rare occurrence that they actually turned that thing into a positive for some people.
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess fans of them don't see that word as that anymore, which is fantastic.
See?
But
Mhm.
I had never heard of them, and you fucked me up with that one, Ian.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
sad. We're gonna
I
be
thought you
losing
was
these guys, and we still have KSI and Logan Paul. So
yeah. Yeah, really, that it really sucks that the good YouTubers are leaving in the year
are they
2024.
are they gonna be just posting? Is do they have a last video already, or are they planning to
They just have
tour?
this message. They just have this statement. Uh, they just have this statement. I've basically uh shared this on the Paper Straw Media website. But for the sake of those who are not really or this is the first time that you have known about this, let me just find it here so that you can have a
Sometimes
idea.
I act like I don't read our site. I just get so excited and develop sudden amnesia.
Yeah, but there are actually speculations that there's actually speculations on their subreddit called Ling Ling 40 Hours. Yeah, that's wild. They TwoSet Violin even has a subreddit. But yeah, there are speculations that uh they are leaving so that they can because they're splitting up. That's one. That number two, they have speculations that they're taking a break or they are just doing this for they're just taking a breather and all that shit, and they're gonna be back or something. There's number three, the speculation. There's a speculation that they're rebranding from TwoSet Violin to TwoSet Academy. That's a third
Yeah.
speculation. And there's a lot. There's a lot of speculations regarding what happens next to these guys.
Sorry, Ian, when you said taking a break, my brain suddenly goes, what is it? The braids?
Oh boy.
We need
But
Kendrick now.
yeah, I mean, as I said, why are all the good YouTubers leaving in 2024? We started with MatPat. And then who's the other good YouTubers who left other than TwoSet Violin? Um,
A lot of people sold their channel this year.
who?
If you think about it, like I think if you started YouTube back in 2010, I think 14 years is the perfect time to actually just retire.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
That's
because
a
if
good
you're
run.
still doing it 14 years and you still have how many subscribers, you
Hmm.
must have burned millions by then.
Mm,
Enough for you to actually just call it quits, unless you're just addicted to the grind.
yeah. That's the thing. Those who are still those who are still on YouTube, they're just doing it for the fun, I guess. I'm not sure.
Not
Maybe that's
necessarily for the fun. I think just keeping their people employed.
perhaps.
You see, you can feel the channels that are just doing this just to keep people employed, not necessarily doing this for what they started their YouTube channel for.
Mhm. Anyway, I just opened the article that I just wrote. We'll link it in the description below after once we uploaded this podcast episode. Let me just open this up. Where is it? Where is that? Okay. So in part, the Brett and Eddie have wrote. Wait, read this post on this. You've got to be kidding me. Uh,
Yeah, I'm learning so much today, man.
yeah, but yeah, it's really sad that you know
Was the
this.
learning so intense for you, Chris?
Huh?
Was the learning so intense for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a beer after this, I think. I'm gonna need a beer, and I guess I'm gonna be binging some fucking violin players. Some
Well, Brett and Eddie are not just the only violin players who are on YouTube.
I really
They basically expanded, or let's just say influenced a lot of musical YouTubers
right.
because of their content.
Well, I mean, I understand that, and I'm I could give a shit less about violins, but I'm interested in these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just so sad that
they have good content.
most of their YouTube videos are either deleted or privated or set to private. It
Oh,
sucks.
I
It
guess
sucks that that most of their videos, most of the funny videos, most of the videos that they were very much, you know, known for, they're gone. And some of that those that remain, they're also of good quality, but you really you really see the gaps, or you really notice that there are some gaps regarding their content. By the way, this is the statement Brett and Eddie wrote on their apparently final statement. And I quote, "This will be the last piece of content we post as TwoSet Violin. It's been a wild ride with you all for the last 11 years. We've all grown up together, and it's kind of surreal that we're ending our chapter here. Thank you for all the laughs, the genuine encounters in real life, and all the special moments we've had with you online and offline. Much love, Brett and Eddie." So basically, that's their. I'm not sure if it's their farewell statement, but
it's
uh,
not
as it as it is, yeah. But again, the speculations are still there that
because
they may
you know why
continue.
the speculations are there
What do you think, Chris?
because he said this is our last content as this, not
Yeah,
not period. It's just the
yeah.
last content as two violins and a do what is it? Two ling
Two
lings?
set violin.
Two links.
Two ling lings with strings?
That's a good.
One ling ling. Two ling lings.
That's a good. Those are good segues. Halloween and Halloween and rhyming.
Yeah.
Ah.
I guess I'm just watching their concert with Davey. That's a good one. I think it's
Yeah,
is it still available online? I guess
I'm
it
not
is.
sure.
Just a
Yeah,
few
that
clips. I think.
and their 4 million subscriber concert in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they played the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto in the 4 million subscriber concert in 2022, and that was during the time that that they somehow got the ire of the fans of Blackpink, because there's also a parody of Blackpink's song "Shutdown." I think it's also in the it's also retained, or it's still there. It's up there on TwoSet Violin's YouTube channel, and basically both songs actually uh base themselves on Niccolo Paganini's etude La Campanella. Yeah, that piece. So basically, let's just say that parody is the best form of flattering, and basically Brett and Eddie are just trying to have some fun in it, and and Eddie was the one who dressed up as Paganini there, and Brett was Mozart, complete with the complete with the high pitched laugh from the 1980s film Amadeus. You know.
I just realized,
Yeah, that one.
Jesus Christ.
I have to check them out.
Like I just realized that there's no character in Kung Fu Panda named Ling.
Yeah, that's very unique.
If anyone can show me a character in Kung Fu Panda that's named Ling,
Yeah. Well, it all goes full circle from from Two Set
it's a
Violin to
common name,
BINI.
right?
Ling.
Maybe.
Like second has
Yeah.
Ling Xiaoyu.
Yeah. For
Ling or Lin?
either. Either actually.
Yeah, it's Ling. Ling Xiaoyu.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either. So that's that. Well, that's a very intense episode we have there, guys. And
Yeah.
you know, I really appreciate all of you. If you're still watching or listening to this, we appreciate you sticking around and
What?
bearing with
Why,
all our shenanigans.
why do
So
I feel like
yeah.
I just had a workout after this podcast?
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
And I'm the fat guy in the I mean
Like,
uh uh in the with the three of us, I'm the fat guy, and I think I'm having a workout, and it's so much fun. But anyway, it's very much appreciated that all of you guys are here, or you're still around, listening or watching us uh um lose our shit.
yeah, the
But
topic you
yeah.
gave us feels like you're making us navigate a maze of landmines using a rusted spoon. Like,
Yeah.
But
But it's
hey,
good
that
though.
was
I learned
yeah.
some shit. I got
you learned a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
You learn a
yeah.
lot of what? Yeah.
I learned some stuff. Yeah, I have some stuff to do, some stuff to look up later for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Expand my horizons.
Yeah. Anyway, it's very much appreciated that all of you are still here, still watching us, still listening to us. And thank you very much for actually sticking with us, and bearing with all of our bearing with
Yeah.
us for the past
Unless
hour or so. I
unless
am
you
not
guys
sure how.
cheated. Unless you cheated and just skipped. Just went far.
Yeah, but either way, thank you for still watching. I'm not sure how long would this be, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be long, because we've been talking. I've all of us have been talking about here. But before you go, we would just like to request you to um share your thoughts in the comments below, and do like, share, do like
Yeah.
and subscribe, like this video and subscribe to Paper Straw Media. Please ring the notification bell as well, so that you can you can
Yeah, and Ian, I would just like to remind people, if you guys skipped, you missed a lot. Christopher
yeah.
actually mentioned the reason why he's becoming a Democrat now.
Did I?
Yeah,
I guess people will have to
so
check
no,
the entire
yeah,
video.
so no cheating. Get back to the start of this video, and then no, and then
Like
watch
he
or
laid out
listen to the whole damn thing.
his entire plan to become a Democrat
this is a podcast for a bloody reason.
and
You
why he
can
would be voting for Kamala.
This is a podcast for a bloody reason. So you can do your shit while listening to us. We I'm not saying we don't care, but um it's fine by us. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a good reason. Go
before
back.
yeah, before we go fully unhinged here, we're gonna end this episode of the Paper Straw podcast. And again, we thank you very much for listening and watching with us. And on behalf of Christian Tejares and Chris Short, I am Ian Riñon, and I would like to remind you to look alive, stay alive, be kind to yourself and to each other, and see you next time for another episode of the Paper Straw Podcast.
Yeah, have a good one.
Happy weekend. Happy weekend, everyone.